What you got? So today, I'm gonna be reviewing all the posts, not all, but 3 posts that I've made. It was the more controversial ones. I mean, a lot of them were somewhat lopsided, but I've read comments, and a lot of y'all had some stuff to say, and it's very interesting. So I want to make a video out of it, comparing what y'all chose for the player polls. So this is a little bit of a new video idea I have. Y'all let me know if y'all like it. Let's get right into it. So first, we gotta get into the Scottie Pippen, Kawhi, and Giannis. I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked. I did not expect 58% of y'all to pick Scottie Pippen, especially since I've watched like Jordan and Scottie videos, and y'all have always told me that Scottie wasn't as good as a player until Jordan got him right. Scottie wasn't this, he wasn't that good, he's a little overrated. But y'all chose him over Kawhi and Giannis. That's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie, but Daniel G. Lawyer did make a good point saying he is the best defensively, because I searched up some stats. I'm going to show that too. And it is true. But the offensive gap between like Scottie Pippen and Giannis is definitely insane. But I didn't even put Giannis in the comparison because y'all had him at third. I've only put him compared to Kawhi. But him and Kawhi's stats are pretty close. Scottie Pippen is officially the most overrated player in NBA history. People really gave him more votes than Giannis, who actually won the Defensive Player of the Year award, and is a better scorer and won a championship as a leader, just like Kawhi Leonard. These LeBron fanboys really put that overrated punk on a different level. You would never heard that guy had not been from Michael Jordan grooming his game. Man, I love y'all in college, bro. Y'all be funny. Sometimes y'all be killing me too, but fair game. So I went to ChatGPT for this. Y'all can fact check some of the stuff if y'all want to. But when we compared them, Kawhi Leonard has played only 13 seasons. Scottie's played more, so he's gonna have more stats most likely. But they're like intangibles and stuff like that, like they weights and heights. It's kind of similar. You got Kawhi's only an inch shorter and 3 pounds less, so it's actually a pretty good comparison. Kawhi has a little more, 4 more points per game. Scottie's better at rebounding. Scottie's a better passer. 2 points per game in his prime. Kawhi's around 1.7, so they're close with steals. Field goals, Kawhi's a better field goal percent shooter than Scottie by a little bit. Like, this is a very close comparison, I'm not gonna lie. But if we're talking about a two-way player, like I seen someone also comment, basketball is a two-way sport. I don't know how y'all vote Scottie over Kawhi. Like, the stats are similar, but Kawhi he's won 2 championships. And one of those championships, he was the main man on the team with the Raptors. And he played a good role in the Spurs too. I know he was guarding Bron that year. Score versus playmaker. We know Leonard's a better playmaker than Pippen. Not playmaker, but scorer than Pippen. Pippen's a better passer. They're both very good rebounders, as we can see. Kawhi is strong, especially in his prime. Pippen's field goal is solid. Yeah, the era does make a difference with 3-point and free throw percentages. Pippen has an edge, yeah, but he had MJ on his team. Let's be real. So this is just compared to defensive stats. So let's get into this, the defensive side. So offensively, we know it's Kawhi, but defensively, Scottie Pippen is better than Kawhi, for sure. But is the gap between Scottie and Kawhi's defense as big as the gap between Kawhi and Scottie's offense? That's the real question that I'm thinking about, and y'all can let me know. But I give it to Kawhi. I don't see. I feel like Kawhi's better. The only problem is availability is the best ability. And Kawhi is not very available, so that does give Scottie Pippen an edge too, because Kawhi don't even be playing consistently no more. So that's one thing too. Pippen played as they brought longevity and volume, era differences, style of defense. Has Pippen even won a Defensive Player of the Year award? I don't think so. Pippen, TPOY. He's never won? Bro, Scottie is... Yeah, I gotta give it to Kawhi. I'm sorry. I don't know how y'all chose that, but let's get to the next one. So, next we got who was the most unstoppable center at their peak. So this one right here, I'm surprised Kareem didn't have a little more votes, bro. Kareem's number 2 all-time scoring. I know a lot of people that say Kareem is top 3 all time, so I'm surprised y'all voted Kareem last. We got Wilt at second. Mike said it has to be Wilt with the most likes. Only people that actually saw all 3 plays should be allowed to vote. I said vote. So start watching who's highlights. Wilt scored 100 points in the game. That is facts. But I'm gonna say this though, Wilt's time period of playing was way different than Shaq's though. Let's be real. You gotta keep it real. I seen some Wilt gameplays. I know y'all might kill me for this, bro, but when I be watching Wilt, he's an insane athlete. You'll be able to play nowadays too. He did have Bill Russell, but the time frames was just so much different. And there was less teams, right? Were there like 12 teams when Wilt played? Something like that. Wilt Chamberlain was so unstoppable that Bill Russell was only able to stop him for a decade straight. Let's get to the comparison. Let's get to the comparison. So, Wilt played 14 seasons, 2 championships. Shaq played 19 with 4. 7-1-3-25 to 7-1-2 varied, okay. Wilt had 4 MVPs. Shaq had 1. Finals MVPs 1, 3. All NBA first. Wasn't there a time where Shaq should have got MVP over Steve Nash though? Pretty sure it was something like that. So it looks like Shaq has more team accomplishments though. Like in a sense of like the All NBA first team, All NBA team selections, Finals MVPs. That regular season MVP, but was more of an individual award. I feel like. Let's see like their points per game. Okay, so Wilt does blow Shaq out the water. Wait. Wilt played 5 less seasons and has 3,000 more points? Ooh, I might be wrong. I think, I know even though Wilt played in that time, bro, he's working Shaq in every like career regular season stats. I know Shaq's stats definitely dropped because he played long on some other teams like the Celtics and Suns. Yeah, I know about those years. But, bro, like, these stats, you can't really, like, bro, he's smacking them. There's no way Shaq only has 13K rebounds. Okay, playoff stats is a little different now. Shaq has more playoff points. Bro, Wilt's rebounding in playoffs is great. Assist, dot track. Dang, that sucks for Wilt. None of his blocks and steals were recorded. Especially near the rim, was more efficient from field goal, very high field goal percentage, and had more Finals MVPs plus more championships. See, I want to see their peak stats. Widely regarded as the most statistically dominant season in NBA history, Chamberlain's 1961-62 campaign featured 50 points per game, 25 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 48 point. Dude, he played the whole game, 48.5. Dang, his free throw percentage is buns though. He has a terrible free throw. It's a little. Shaq's is worse though. Okay, Shaq's 29.7 points per game, rebounds per game, assists per games. Based off their errors too, Wilt was statistically way above people that he was playing against. Looks like he led the league. So league content, he led the league in points, rebounds, and was far ahead of anyone else statistically. Even elite players like Bob Petit, 29 points per game, were nowhere near Wilt's dominance. Dang, Bobby averaged 30, and they had no 3-point line. That was Bob a he was a big, right? Or I don't know. Other than that, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. So, I'm trying to think about this. I feel like we have to give it to Wilt for most dominant, bro. 50 points per game is insane. Even no matter the era, buckets is buckets. I'm sorry. Bro, buckets is buckets, bro. 50 points per game, 25 rebounds. These are like video game numbers. But at the same time, he didn't win as much, but Wilt did have the same supporting cast as Shaq did. All right, let's get to the next poll. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that one, too. Next. Ooh, which NBA legend had a tougher era? So the Bill Russell era, the 50s and 60s, 5%. Y'all did not vote that. Surprised. I thought it was going to get a little more because like I know the racism that Bill had to go through in that time period and all that. A lot of things outside the league, stuff like that. Bill Russell had to fight Jim Crow. No, that's not a laughing matter, but y'all know. I'm still, you get it. But on and off the court, Mr. Bill Russell. 2000 was the most balanced and had everything. I'll go with the Kobe Stop the Madness. 90s 2010 basketball, best basketball ever. When LeBron took over the league after Kobe started getting injured, he the game up. So let's compare the errors. Based off, so this number of teams, Jordan had fewer teams, Kobe had 30 teams. Based on competition, the competition both was good. But it said Kobe's overlap with LeBron's rise as superstar stacked, whatever. So this one right here that I read, this was really caught my eye. So it says the top players are more. Basically, what I got from this metric right here is that the top players in Jordan's era were better, but like it says, the drop off after the top few teams was worse. So like basically, it was like a. It looks like there was like a couple teams that were very, very competitive, and there's a couple other teams that were just not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what's up. They're not going to do too much. But in Kobe's era, it looks like there was more of a balance with teams. Jordan had more of a dominant teams with players like the Suns, for example. Like that was basically a super team. I wouldn't say super team, but they had multiple stars in that team. But Kobe's team, like Kobe's era is a little more balanced. Jordan's era had a little more of the not super teams, but y'all get what I'm saying. Defensive rules. We gotta give this to Jordan. Limited zone coverage, open up isolation. That's one thing too, though. How do y'all feel about that? So, if y'all think if Jordan did Jordan say something about the zone coverage that if he like had to deal with it, it would have been a little bit harder? Did Jordan say that, or am I wrong? Hand checking was allowed, more physical play. 04 hand checking was banned. I remember in 05, didn't Kobe have his? Then a year after that, Kobe had like his highest points per game season 05 or 06. Defensive 3-second rules introduced made driving easier, but also emphasized team. So, you see, with the no zone coverage, but no defensive 3 seconds, I feel like that kind of like negates it. Because at the same time, you can't sit in the zone, but you can sit in the paint for as long as you want. It's still the same thing, basically. Especially for like driving dominant players like MJ when there's always a big man sitting down there. So I feel like that kind of evens that out for them. Made driving easier, but emphasized team defensive schemes and spacing. But the head checking being bad made a difference for Kobe. Less physical play, so defense was harder in Jordan's era for sure. Scoring environment, slower pace than 90s defensive grind. Scoring 30 plus was rare. Jordan stood out more. Faster pace, more spacing. Yeah, players were averaging. So also in comparison to era, Jordan was like, compared to his peers were great, but he was smacking them. Kobe was good too compared to his peers, but Kobe also had players like I seen T-Mac dropping 30 plus. Like it was more common in AI. It was more common in Kobe's era for players to get 30 plus points, score a lot. I've seen that too as well. See, the higher crosshairs for elite big man, I can't speak too much on that. I don't know. I haven't really looked at too many things about that. Deeper pool of stars due to global talent, more all-stars with high win shares, more advanced defenses. So physical difficulty, and fewer rule advantage Jordan. Depth, number of elite players that advanced metric spread Kobe. So what I get from the eras of comparison, it really depends on what. So Kobe's era had a lot of stars, and this could either be because the rules became less stricter, so more players were able to like show their game out a little more, or it's to be because the NBA had just better more players come in that were good. But I think it's a mix. I think it's a lot of the rule changes. There probably was definitely some more players that came in that were good, because there's more teams. Jordan made the NBA more popular, so more players probably wanted to play basketball and really become basketball players. But the combination of more players coming in and the rule changes making it catered towards the offenses more, I feel like that balances it out as well too. So it's the same thing with the Wilt and Shaq thing, how I compared it, how Jordan's era had less teams, but Jordan was just so far more better than his competition that I have to give it to Jordan. Kobe was too, but like it was said, like scoring 30 plus points, and we see Jordan gets all NBA defenders. Jordan was averaging 38. Other people averaging guarding him 25, 27. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bigger difference in point total. So I'll give this one to Jordan. So that is the end of this video. If you guys like when I do this, when I make the post and then I go back to it and react to it and so we could talk about this. If y'all like these type of videos, let me know down below in the comment section. If y'all feel like I should do something different in this video, comment that down below as well. Make sure y'all like and subscribe for more. I hope y'all all have a great day. It's your boy Tori Sama, and I'm out.